Hello, this is Adams, and in each of these segments, I take one or two selections from Edmund de Waal's The Pot Book, which is located in the BKLYN CLAY library. Feel free to ask if you want to look at it. And in each of these, I'll be trying to figure out how they have made it or how I would make it if I were to make it. And so picture here, Edmund de Waal's Pot Book, and just a general layout. Here's Edmund. He's a contemporary artist, scholar, writer. Look him up, he's a pretty interesting guy. And so here's our first selection, Peter Behrens, Cup and Saucer from 1901. Peter Behrens was a German architect, and he was very influential in the modernist kind of way of thinking, definitely influential for the Bauhaus folks in the 20s and 30s and 40s. He was pretty interesting in that he was an architect, but within, for example, the house he designed to live in, he had also designed the furniture and also designed the chinaware that he would make and eat off of. And so here's a good example of a cup and saucer. You can see the kind of geometric forms on there with some nice Art Nouveau kind of designs. And so I'm just going to give you a general overview of how I would go about making this. And for anyone who's interested in doing something like this, or even just a feature like this, it's always a good idea to do your research and look at YouTube videos or ask your teachers if you're enrolled in a class, and come prepared, or at least have a teacher that you can ask and have them show us things. So this is from my point of view. Everyone's going to do something a little different. Some of it's wrong, but none of it's really wrong. So if you do ask your teacher and they give you a different answer, it's likely to be right too. And so here's Peter, and he's looking very stately in his desk and his furniture and everything. And these are a little varying from the picture in the book, but basically kind of get the point across. You can see the geometric saucer and the kind of angular ceramic cup with a nice handle, and the kind of graphics on there very little. You can see the color change here. First, I'll just talk about the kind of saucer part. This is a pretty good version of what's in the photograph in the book. And so I think the most straightforward way to do this would just to be rolling out a slab of clay on the slab roller and using a paper template, basically constructing that with the dimensions and everything out of paper and flattening it out and using that to trace all your shapes. And then at a leather hard stage, putting all the pieces together to make that saucer. As far as the surface design goes, what the factory who made this probably did was a similar technique to silk screening that people do to make posters and t-shirts, except using either like an underglaze type of material or a glaze. But what we can do that's actually loads easier is use Brooklyn Clay's ceramic decal printer, and definitely talk to the staff, whether it's the studio managers, Gus or Anders, or the office staff, Laura or Jen, about the logistics of it. There's going to be a price charge, and they'll tell you how to set up the page. But basically, you're setting up these designs on in Photoshop, and it prints out, and then it's called an overglaze process. So you're going to make this, glaze it, and then apply these ceramic decals on the glazed surface and give it a third firing. But it's pretty easy once you have it all printed out. It's sort of similar to temporary tattoo paper in that you soak it in water and it separates from the fiber backing, and it's called water slide decal paper. And so with water, you slide it onto the non-porous surface. So like I said, roll out a slab or use a slab roller, construct this with the paper template, and then glaze it, and then do the overglaze decals. I think that's the easiest way for that. With the cup, you can have a little more fun with it if you're really into the pottery wheel, which I am. And so what I would do is throw the cup, and you notice it kind of flares out at the top a little, so make sure to do that. I would throw it at least until I'm familiar with what I'm going to tell you, to throw it a little thicker. And what I would do would be to take my wire tool, or there's a lot of other tools, and facet it, basically cut off the sides, the outer sides to make it angular. And when I do that, I can use my wire tool, grip it really tight. And if I kind of look down right in the center of this cup while I'm doing this, I can follow it and make sure I'm not cutting through to the inside, because I want to avoid that, of course. And so you can kind of see the lines emphasize the shape of it. There's a slight kind of curve in here, and then right about here it kind of goes straight down. So it makes a really nice dynamic shape, especially if you're getting kind of bored with just the straight circular cylindrical cylinders. And then you can either pull out a handle or use a slab roller again, and kind of, you can make the shape, I would say it looks like it's around like a 1/4 inch, and then rough out the shape, kind of get in that posture, and then smooth out the sides when it's a little drier, like a little more in the leather hard state, and then do the same overglaze ceramic decal processes. So again, faceting, ceramic decal printer, slab roller, paper template. Thank you.